How's everyone doing? How is everyone doing? I hope you're doing well this evening. I hope you're doing well this evening. Says my bitrate is bad. What? Uh-oh, is my stream not up? Oh no, it is. It's up. It's up. Okay. I was a little worried. Okay, never mind. Worried for no reason. All right, how's everyone doing tonight? All right, I broke something. As you can see, it's not working. I'm pretty sure I broke this. So let's fix it. Okay, so what were we doing? Okay, we are trying to fix our Istio, setup. And in the process of fixing, I might have broken it slightly. But that's okay. So one thing that I did was I took our virtual services and compiled them into a single virtual service. Because of some stuff on how Istio deals with those. So it broke this because what we were going to do is everything was going to be its own virtual service, but Istio doesn't like that because it doesn't guarantee an order, and that's what we were struggling with. So I updated it to not have a guaranteed order, and it broke. So we're gonna see what. Ooh, this might be a little too far out. I might dive a little deeper in. Let's see. We want what do we want? We want the API. API base. Let's see. Yeah, the virtual service. So I put the two things in here to basically give it a little bit more precedence. So basically, they will observe the order in here. And so this is what I did, and this is what I think destroyed it, was I actually put in the host. And I did a fully qualified domain name. Which, let's see, yeah. Okay, let's see, get virtual services -in. This was in the cloud. So the virtual service did get created there. That looks good. And then we could actually check, instead of virtual services, get services. I did get services. All right, which then we have the Eddington API and the Null Cloud UI. Now, I think these hosts originally, before I changed them to Null Web and Eddington API, which... Wait. This is just wrong, right? It would be the null class. I think maybe this is the mistake. If this is all I did, I feel like an idiot. Let me Eddington API. Okay. That can't be all that I screwed up. I mean, it could be. Let's I guess get see how that works. And now we can hurry this along. It will eventually get there itself anyhow, but what is it? It is 51, I believe, is our go. Yeah, 51. Admin. And then I have to retrieve this. 1 second. Silence. Cone of silence. Sorry, obtain it via the command line. Let me clear that out. All right. We're back. Look at that beautiful clean slate. Let's sync this. And then I have a big learning for Argo CD. Big learning because too often I have like this, which it will complain is out of sync because of like labels added at runtime through like an ingress controller. So it's actually healthy, but it says that it's degraded. And I need to get better about that. All right, let's see. Actually, we should just be able to see like if this works now. Hey, look at that. That actually fixed that. Okay, well, like I said, that was all I had planned for tonight. All right, let's see. Merit counts. Pick a date of birth. This is the worst date picker ever known to humankind because it starts at today. And while you can select the month, the year, you can just like, if you're an old person, this date picker hates you. Oh, okay. That's not so bad if you click on it. Okay, that's not so bad. Okay, cool. Also, that's not my date of birth. Just so you guys know. Huh. All right. Still not working. Let's actually try to let's check out some logs. I'd be interested if this actually got to our pod. Okay, get pods in what name? No, cloud. And then we're going to go with this one. I'm really hoping that it's not I'm really hoping it's not like Istio networking because that would suck way more. Okay, so we're getting some requests. I'm not going to tell you which one's my IP address because I'm pretty sure that's my public IP address. So I have some bots that are botting me. Cool. What were we making? We were making a post, right? Let's see. Post to API v1 users. API v1 users. Okay. Does this appear to be working? I feel like this appears to be working. Why is it returning? Wait. Request failed with status code 404. Yeah, 404 not found. Error bad request. That's not a 404. Is this bad code? No. It says not found. It says not found. Okay. Let's see. If I run this again. No. I meant if I run this again. So I'm making a few more. Do I see those come through? Yes. So we're getting API v1. Oh, I see what's happening. Right. Okay. So interesting. I didn't realize Istio would do it this way. Because if you look at it, the whole request is https://nullcloud.io/ That is the right. That's the right place, right? Let's look at our postman. API v1 users. Right. Okay. Well, let's change this. We should get a bad authentication. We might have to get our token to put in there. Actually, let's copy this. Let's copy this one and do it for like production. Duplicate. We're gonna call this new user prod done. nullcloud.io. This has to be HTTPS. Okay. Done. Body. Headers, we're gonna have to put in a real one because this should fail. This will actually be interesting because this will actually new user this token. I guess that's fine because this is a valid token. All right. Well, it's just not the one I'm using currently, but let's see what the response is. Okay. So we are getting not found in production, and I think that this is how Istio is passing the request through. So if we run it locally, it's binding to localhost, which doesn't have it. It's not there, or it's binding to the, and Istio is just passing the last portion of it. So I think we need to figure out a configuration for that, right? Let's see. Virtual service here. The destination could be a DNS name with a wildcard prefix or an IP address, depending on the platform. Blah blah blah. Yep. So we're getting there. It's just not what it's not what this service expects. Because it's stripping the gateway off of it. I'm actually wondering if this is more important on how I configure. Right. Let's see. We could do that here. Let's see. Because I'm wondering if it's more of how I'm configuring the host. So let's actually look at that really quickly. Um let's see. CD just J Eddington. Yeah. All right, tilt up. Wait. We're in the right context, right? Yeah. Tilt up. Let's jump over here. Let's look at local host. It's the 10350. Give it just a second. Give it just a second. Did everybody get to see my AI powered interview? I have some more thoughts on it. I've been thinking about it today. You know, like I had some of my gut. Wow. How did all this fail to start up? All right. I'm going to assume that this is a dirty cluster. Let's get rid of it. So I had some knee-jerk reactions, and you know, like it wasn't the best interview because I hadn't prepared to take an interview. But there's some things I could have done better for sure. We were also just exploring some of it. It was, but I think I have more constructive feedback for that type of thing if it ever wants to be viable, because there's like two big things, the more I've thought about it, that don't exist. That is maybe the primary way I tell if somebody is a viable candidate. So the first thing is the fact that there is no conversation. You might as well type out answers. I know they have like an AI voice and they let you talk back to it, but there's no back and forth. It's a strict, I said things, you said things back. They might as well have just done it with text and allowed me to type the text back. I mean, I'm fine typing or talking because I'm a bad typer, but like, or a bad speller. I type fine, but I'm slow, but that would be like the biggest thing, because one of the things that I have always harped when interviewing or when you're being interviewed is ask really good questions, because if you show me that you're thinking critically on the topic, that's like a huge deal. And if you're asking questions that show you understand the domain, that's a huge deal. And in the entire interview, there was no way for me to ask questions. Right, Dutch. There was several times where I have to be like, I'm guessing, and just move on. There was no way to be like, I see you said this, and you know, there's two ways it could go. And you know, I know in some bigger teams they split up and do these microservices. And I know in some smaller teams, what's your team dynamic? And those are like the type of questions, or you said like, you said this, and let me dig into that, because like that proves I have experience doing those things. And there was just no way to do that. It was literally just a canned thing. They might as well just printed the text and read it. That's probably my biggest like non-starter with it, was like, without that, it's just not viable, I don't think. Also, please do not put a 14-year-old to interview me. Unless you have a 14. Now, if you have a 14-year-old who is just a demigod at programming, I'd be honored to be interviewed by them. But don't make a 14-year-old AI interview me. Like, I'm like serious. I'm actually going to email them and ask them if they want serious feedback or not. If they want serious feedback, I'll do it in video form. I might do it in video form whether they email me back or not, but... There we go. That looks much better. The other time, like, it just... Sometimes kind, once it's sat for a little while, like, kind, unlike wine, does not get better with age. I don't know why. Sometimes when I return to a kind cluster, sometimes they work for months. And then sometimes, I think it has to do with, like, upgrade... I don't know. Like, I'm going to say upgrading the system or something like that. But sometimes it's not the best. All right, so if we go here and do this call, this is going to work. Yeah, status 200. We're going to come back here, and we're going to see what this is doing. Dutch, I might need your help. So this call works here, but when we send it through Istio in production, I'm in the wrong. Ooh. All right, we're going to do K8s here. Yeah. And then we're going to switch the context in here. Context. Yeah. Oh. Let's see. One. I did see that. So right now it's just a rumor. But if you remember, I don't know, Dutch, if you watch my news, but when HashiCorp made the big change and they made their stuff not open source anymore, I called out then that I thought that they were probably looking either for investors or somebody to buy them. So, you know, nice job, Merrick. I saw a post by Hightower, and I agree with it. If IBM wants to regain any amount of trust, if they want their HashiCorp purchase to be of any value, they will immediately Apache 2 open source every HashiCorp product. Because HashiCorp already 6 months ago made their community angry. And IBM has a tendency of making their communities upset. So I think that's what IBM... like, if IBM goes through spending the money for this, that's like their only hope. In my opinion. They haven't asked for my opinion. Nobody does any day these days. But I give it freely because that's all it's worth. That's all it's worth. All right, we're going to quit this. Bleed, snee bleed, sign bleed, fin bleed. You know, there's so many ways I could pronounce that. I'm just gonna call you Bleed. What's up, man? How are you doing? Right, Dutch, so this is to me, it doesn't make sense why they would buy them, because you're right, they're in a catch-22. There's no way to win. When you look at this, if you don't undo the issues with the community, you are literally shooting the products in the foot that you spent $6 billion on. Oh, very nice. I like that name. But I agree with you, Dutch. It's a bad position. I don't think IBM should have bought it, to be fair. That's probably would have been my first piece of advice, because it puts them in a weird spot. Sergeant Pepper, what's up? How are you doing? They're in talks to buy HashiCorp. There's rumors and talks. Oh, you do kernel eBPF for K8s Networking? That's super cool. I wrote one eBPF module. I'm not that smart. So I don't know if you want to stick around. I'm not that smart. That was rough. That was rough. I learned something, but well, what I learned was I'm not that smart. Yeah. I don't write a ton of C anymore, and so part of it was writing in C. And then part of it was eBPF. Yeah. I was on Hello World eBPF. Dr. Skill Issue. You stole my name. I'm PhD Skill Issue. No, but so what I was doing was basically there was I don't know if you guys know who raw code is, but if you don't, he does this thing where you break a Kubernetes cluster. And so my final hack of one of the nodes was an eBPF module that I loaded that just rejected all communication from the control plane. So any of the control plane IP addresses, it just dropped the packet like it was hot. And that is my eBPF. That is my eBPF in its entirety. I've been meaning to do more with it, or play around with it. I don't remember Bleed. I guess you're saying you go sync bleed. That's how you would pronounce it, sync bleed. Oh, okay. I got it. I'm sorry. Our company is one of Insta's first big clients, and we had an awesome working relationship with them. Oh, okay. Well, so I don't know how to pronounce SYN because it stands for sync, right? But there's no K, so it's Sin. I think it's just Sin, right? Sing. It's more like Sing. Sing bleed. I'm really not sure how. Like, I never pronounce SYN except as sync, right? For synchronization. I'm trying to think of this. I don't know why this is stumping me so much. Okay, I'm just going with Sin bleed. Well, I mean, there's already Terraform and Volt forks, right? Dr. Skill Issue? There's already forks. Right? Keyval. That's Redis. Sorry. Tofu, which is the dumbest name. Tofu. One second. Open Tofu. I'm gonna just open Tofu. This is your Terraform, right? I forget what Vault is. What is the open source Vault? There is one. I don't remember what it is. Why would you rename Terraform to Tofu? I have no idea. It doesn't even make sense. Like, Terraform makes sense because, like, you're terraforming your environment. Tofu doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I don't know why they named it Tofu. Like, there are so many names that they could have come up with. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Might have been a better name than Tofu. It has a T and an F. That was their requirement. That was their whole requirement, was that it has a T and an F. Oh. I don't have a whole lot of experience with Tofu except for one experience, which was kind of embarrassing on my part. I was in Taiwan for a work trip, and while there, I went to a street market, and I thought that I had stepped in dog crap and said as much because it smelled amazingly terrible. And I guess it was like a stinky tofu or something. It's super embarrassing on my part because I was like, oh my goodness, that smells terrible. There's a dog. I might have stepped in it. And anyways, that was not the case. People were eating that. That's my entire experience with tofu. So anyways, we'll move on. They assured me it tasted great. I have no idea. Let's move on though. Okay, I needed help because I'm not smart enough for this. Tofu isn't gross though. That's my only experience. So like I said, I'm sure that there are some really great recipes that use it. And I might have eaten it in something that I didn't realize it was it. Although I'm pretty sheltered when it comes to food. Marinated. Almost everything marinated is good depending on what you marinated in, because then it's more about what you marinated in than the actual thing. It's like escargot. Escargot is really just nothing, but they eat an arrangement of spices that make them taste delicious in the end. When you do hibachi, you get that soup. I don't think I've ever done hibachi, but I'll remember that. Miso soup. And that sounds familiar. I might have had miso soup. I might have had miso soup. So, like I said, I might have eaten tofu in other places. Just don't necessarily know it. Miso is tofu. Okay, so that sounds really familiar. So I think I had this coworker that had me eat some miso something or other. So I probably have eaten tofu, and I think I remember liking it. So sounds reasonable. So I lied when I said that was my only experience with tofu. Although I think I did clarify that I know it was tofu. Anyways, that's all I think of when I think of the project tofu now. I just don't like, I don't care whether you like tofu or not. I wouldn't have named the project brisket either, because brisket doesn't make sense. It's just as ridiculous as tofu to a project that allows you to, like, you know, just spitballing here. Like, I didn't give this a whole lot of time. I'm not sure they did either. But you could have done like I almost said cloud formation. That spitballing got me into legal troubles. But like cloud constructor, or, you know, again, spitballing. Cloud constructor would be Project CC. I don't know. I had a bird. I didn't have a bird. My family had a bird called CC. It's when I swore off having birds. All right. Okay, so let's get back to the problem, because we got some smart people. We got some networking people on here that are going to help me solve this problem. So locally, this works. Locally hitting this works. Now, in production, it actually hits Istio, and Istio then routes through this. So here we see that we got a post to API v1 users, and that worked fine. That's a valid route. But when we go to, let's see, did I not switch our config? No, I did. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's, what is this? I just wanted to do the logs. This one. Done. So when we do it through Istio, it says it doesn't exist. It gives a 404. Interesting, right? Wait, Dutch. That was not an insult on you. You can stay, please. So something with the route through Istio is causing this to fail. And I feel like I'm just not thinking about it. After I failed my interview this morning with the AI, I have just felt dumber. I have felt dumber. Okay. How am I going to debug this? So, like, we can send it to, you know, this was locally. And then this is not locally. And this gives us the 404, not found. And we can actually see a new entry for that one here. Not found. When you saw the AI, dude, when I first saw that phase, I was just like I said, if there was some 14-year-old child who won the Nobel Peace Prize and I was going to get to work for them, I would be thrilled to be interviewed by them. But the fact that you made your AI look like some 14-year-old to interview me, I just was like, I don't know. This was a little, it was weird. I wish that it had looked like ChatGPT, where, like, honestly, that would have been better. That's my input, is give me a ChatGPT window where I can ask questions. It will give me responses back to that, and I can type my responses to that, and I can have a conversation. Even though it's an AI, that's fine. I just want it to look like a ChatGPT conversation. That's it. Don't care if it's a 14-year-old Einstein. I'm you know what? I'm easy to buy. I'm easy to buy. You can pay me enough to work for a 14-year-old Einstein. No, they can't have conversations, but this is what I mean. Like, 1 second. I was in the cone of silence. 1 second, cone of silence in just a second more, and then we'll be back as soon as this is done. Oh my goodness. It said my session expired. I went through the login, and then it said my session expired. Chat GPT's down, guys. I can't program right now. I can't program. We're dead in the water. Okay, it looks like it's back. It looks like we're back. We're back to program. So basically, if ask me a really hard Kubernetes question. So if it had done something like this and had this where and recorded all of this for whoever, it would have been fine. Discuss the rules of resource quotas, limit range, and eviction policy, and how they interact to prevent and manage resource starvation in multi-tenant. So then I could be like, do I need to worry about disk or GPU contention? You know, like I could have, I understand it's not a conversation, but I could verify and make adjustments based off of being able to do this, because I actually think that this is huge. In an interview, this is a key thing. I just showed you that I understand that there's more than just CPU and memory contention. There's also network, there's also disk, there's also GPU. Like, I can go down the row. Like, this is huge. Somebody does this in an interview with me, and I'm like, powerful. This person understands. They took the simple question, and they started to unpack it. And, but there was none of this. There was none of this. That was my thing. I realize it's not a conversation, but it's an important part of an interview. Maybe they're using Istio to resolve their cluster request. Shut up. Sergeant Pepper, I don't know. Okay, I need to come up with a way to debug this. Something is odd here, though. Watch this. Let's get local going again. I gotta switch to the kind cluster. And then let's do tilt up to get it running locally. And then let's do this. So in locally, we can do this, and it returns 201. Okay, perfect. Now my question stands. What if we mess it up? Because something's a little fishy to me. Let's do this. Bob. Okay, so this obviously doesn't exist as a route. Not found. Glorious. Let's look at the logs for that. Where are the logs for that? They're over here. This looks different than this. This looks different than this. It literally just said not found. Glorious. Glorious. But this is coming from my pod, right? Yeah. These are logs coming from my pod. But this is the pod, right? That's what I was going to say, is like, it's not actually getting it. But I don't think that's true, right? It's running differently. I can tell you that much. Let's look at this code, because Jin is an interesting call out. I wasn't even looking at that. Let's check out main, get fetch upstream, get fetch upstream. Can't type. Get rebase upstream main. I mean, this was merged into main. This is the last thing we were working on. I just hadn't created a new branch. All right, Tilt is rebuilding. I am running a not found for errors. But why is it different in the two environments? That's the only thing I have to go on right now, is because I know this is my code, but it's different. Why it's different, I don't know. but it's different. All right, now that we're here, let's we'll just push that back up to our main branch. Okay, so let's cd API. Okay. So what I was the Jin is very interesting. Do you see why I think the Jin is very interesting? I have a suspicion. I've just realized something. I feel really dumb, because for the longest of time, let me tell you a story. For the longest of time, the back end wasn't deploying to production. It was just the front end. The front end sat there as a pretty front end. And just as of last week, we got the whole back end deploying. I almost guarantee you the API server hasn't been deploying new versions. I almost 100% guarantee you that we're on an old version. With a broken route. These are the times I hate streaming, where I'm just like, oh my goodness, I'm an idiot. All right, let's see. The fact, Dutch, that you wouldn't be surprised. Watch, that says a lot about me. Okay, so we have build API here. We have a build on push that builds by the SHA. Check this out. When we update dev manifests, do we update the API? That's the wrong. It's not called this. We don't. In the end, what we don't do is this, because this is the wrong image. So it's updating. It's putting the customize. I guarantee you. Yeah, we can go check. I do have GitOps set up on it. And the GitOps are the things that aren't set up properly. So on push to this, So this is actually pretty cool, honestly. And so I'll walk you through because I'm pretty sure this is the problem, although I haven't validated it. I haven't validated it yet, but I'm pretty sure that this is the problem. When any one of these gets built, so when you push to the main branch on any one of these, you build a container, and then when you build the container, it goes and it updates a Git repo, which is this repo, and this describes our entire deployment. But what I noticed here is it's updating the image Eddington API service, which I'm pretty sure by looking at I'm pretty sure that's not what its name. That's not what its image name is. So let's go check it out. We'll go check out whatever is out there, and we should actually see where it's been updating this. Let's see. Null Cloud, base, API. This is technically dev. Right. So this is updating the Eddington API service. And if we look at the Eddington API service deployment, it's just the Eddington API. So this is how not to do DevOps or GitOps. Thank you so much for the follow. Following along as I show you my skill issues with GitOps. Dr. Skill Issue, where are you? I have an issue. Thank you, Dutch. Thank you. All right. So the solution that I'm going to do, I'm just going to update let's see. It's GitHub workflows. Yep. Let's see. In our update dev manifest, it's just Eddington. Just this. I should probably validate each one of these. Well, let's do it. The Eddington null operator, that almost is guaranteed to be wrong. The Eddington null operator is almost guaranteed. Now, there have been no updates to it, so it's fine because our initial one would work, but it's almost guaranteed to be wrong. It's the null operator. Where is this? Wait, no, not under samples. It's under default, right? But this is not the right thing, right? Yeah. This is just the patch to the. This is gross. So this is the operator. It spews out all of this stuff. Let's actually see what we're applying here. We're applying the config default. Yeah. Wait. What are we applying here? All right, null operator, the dev, this is what we're looking at, right, is going back one and looking at config default, which doesn't exist. This is just dumb broken. How does this even work? I hate streaming sometimes. All right, this needs fixed. So this looks wrong. It's just the null operator. But we also need to fix the manifest. Okay. Like I said, we've just gotten this going, and it's definitely broken. All right, the Eddington container runner. That's also has to be a hard wrong. We'll check it out though. The container runner is just what I call it. I don't tack Eddington onto the front of everything. The whole project's Project Eddington. All right. So same thing going here. Let's see where default here customization. Yeah. Okay. Container runner system. These are the resources getting applied, the CRDs, the RBAC, the manager. The manager will be the thing that actually has the system on it. Okay. Cool. We might actually need to update these names so they don't conflict. Oh, it is actually called the Eddington Container Runner. I stand corrected. I stand very corrected. Actually, let me go validate the null operator. Null operator. Dirk, I'm 100% with you on that. This is what I would like to do with Legion. With Legion, I want it to be a programming language and not just YAML. I want it to be statically typed. I want it to have everything a whole language has. I just want the configuration to be actually Rust structs. I want it to be Rust structs. That's what I want. Probably won't happen. It will probably be something else, but yeah, if all configuration was just Rust structs, I think that would be really cool. I don't know how to do that in a sane way. I have ideas on how to do it in not a great way. These two were correct. Okay, I got these right. All right. So the reason I can do a postmortem on this, I'd happy to, kind of like I did the null clouds, like an entry into it this morning. I'll do one on the postmortem of this, because what it is there's actually a disconnect. The code, the GitOps code over here is working and deployed. What was happening is the thing that automatically updates it when there's a new version wasn't updating the right image. And so that's the reason there was no failure, is because it is working. It's just updating a different image that's not getting deployed, because it's not a real image. But I'll do a postmortem on it. Let's add that on there. We'll do new folder. GitOps postmortem. Why did our API Dirk, I've thought about Pickle. So I like Pickle over Nix just because Nix seems really almost too much. Although I'm not sure if Pickle, I'm not sure about Pickle. I like the jury seems out on that one because I would pickle might be exactly what I'm thinking would be perfect. I just have to actually try it because like I wanted to embed pickle into my application, but it didn't seem like I could embed pickle very easily into my application. Yeah. Pickle is not enough. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of Q personally. And I have never heard of D-Hall. Or yeah, D-Hall. I wrote he doll, but not D-Hall. This almost seems like it almost seems like JSONnet. Maybe it's different. But JSONnet is JSON functions, types, and imports, right? I don't know. All I have to say is Legion won't be YAML. D-Hall is so much better than JSONnet. Okay, I mean it might be. I didn't even know what D-Hall was. Just I was giving you my gut reaction when I read this. It sounded like JSONnet. You know what, guys? There's too many options, and I think because of that, I'm just gonna have to create the null lang to just make one that everybody can use. Okay, I think that's actually the solution here. As you guys have already stated, there's Q, there's any, there's TOML, there's just too many options. So I have to create one to rule them all. I'll do that. That's the only reasonable choice. QXKCD. So that's the problem, Grey Hatter, that I have with a lot of RFCs. There's two problems. There's one problem where people expect there's two problems. There is not enough information in a RFC, and then there's also no way this side of the sun that I put enough information in the RFC. There are people who want basically the full implementation with all details spelled out. And if you've done that, you might as well have just done it. And there's no way that I actually get all of that stuff in an RFC. I don't know. I don't know a good solution. There's a happy medium somewhere, and there's a lot of people that miss it with either too little information or sometimes too much information. But yeah, anyways, that's my take on it, is that it's like a thing you'll never win. You'll either put too much information in or too little. You've never seen an RFC with too much information in it? Probably not. I don't know. I guess it's for comments, right? It's a request for comments. It's not stating that I have everything figured out, right? So if there's something ambiguous, make a comment. I don't know. Can you make an RFC that has too little information in it? I'm a super slow reader and I can't scan. So because of that, I don't like it when there's too much information in it. I can't read it. There's no way I do it. Okay, let's see. What was I? Okay, so we fixed the workflow. We'll make a pull request and review that really quickly. But I just suck at reading, so that is me. Cool. Honestly, I read some, especially the ones that I think that I can learn a lot from. And then there's others that I don't read, or I read the abstract and I'm like, yeah, cool, that's great. We want a type safe configuration language. Yes, please. That's embeddedable, that you can take to embed. All right, the other problem that we have is I feel like some of this is not quite working as I would expect. Let's see. Actually, we'll just deployments, null cloud, base. We'll work out of here. There was a couple here that looked suspicious to me. Basically, our operators. I don't love them. And I'm not sure they're getting deployed properly, which we can check in a little bit, because I'm doubting that they're getting deployed properly. So the container runner is 1. And if we look at dev and the customize, it's saying it goes back 1 directory and to default. So we go back 1 and to default. If we go to default, there should be a customize. So this one is correct. Okay, this one's correct. I stand corrected. Never mind. This one is correct. So let's check out the other operator. That was a container runner, and now we'll go to the null operator, and we'll go to dev. Now this one has a base, and this is where this is wrong. So if we go back 1, there is no config default. We have to go to base default. Yeah. And this is the right place. Okay. So this base. All right, now, because that didn't error, I don't think this customize is part of the chain. So let's check that out. So these would be all under the overlays here and dev and here. Okay, so this is base overlays dev. Overlays dev. And then this has UI API container runner. Yep. Didn't have the null operator. Check that out. Okay. Null operator dev. Because that should have been an error, because it couldn't find the file, and customize will fail to build if it can't find it. So we have those two updates. Deployment. So this wouldn't have actually shown up because we haven't actually used the null operator yet, because the API hasn't been working up to this point in our production deployment. So this is kind of the type of bug that I was expecting to find. But then we had so many other things to deal with that we've dealt with those. So let's go back to Eddington. And then, did we? Yeah, we did. Okay. Okay, cool. Then we should have had an action run. Deploy dev manifest. Ah, that failed. That failed. Interesting. Why did it run? Or why did it fail? Why did it fail? See you, Grey Hatter. So many words. Let's see. Oh, build API failed. What? Build API failed? Oh, it's been failing. It's been failing. Go mod tidy. Oh gosh. Let's try it. Go mod tidy. Worked for me. Worked for me. Oh. I know what's causing this. And I know why it stopped working probably like 2 weeks, last week. We did that update where we built from the context of the root project so that the proto buffers get compiled in, right? So what we need to do now... I know what we need to do. This was a screw up from last week that we didn't actually ever catch. Because this wasn't getting deployed, we never realized that it was not getting deployed. Now, we need to have alerting on this. Agreed. This right here. So we have to do the context is from the root of the project. But the file is from API / a Docker file. That will fix it up. Change build context of Docker. I should just commit to main. I locked the main branch though, I think. Yeah. And I said I couldn't go around it, but I can accept my own pull request, which is amazing. Because it's mostly just me working on it, so I will continue to accept my own pull requests. Oh wait, what branch were we on? Update workflows. I know, I did it on the same branch. Schrodinger's build. I need to work Schrodinger into a video now that you bring it up. That's a fantastic word to say. Who here in chat likes Scrum? Ones if you like Scrums. Fives if you don't. Fives. Who likes Scrum? So maybe this weekend there might be a honest ad of another tech. Maybe the tech we speak of. You guys might like it. I'm actually just waiting on the actions to run. I was like, what am I waiting on? And then I was waiting on this. That's what I'm waiting on. The only people that should be doing Scrum. So, I think. Oh no. Oh, we should have. There will be 2 update workflows. One should always get canceled. That's actually expected. That one of them fails. And then we can get into that. That's a GitHub bug that we had to work around. Again, we can get into that. It's dumb. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, you'll see how there was a bunch of them open. Did we build the API? No, that's still working. That's still working. So I think, let's see. You know what, Dutch? I never finished what I was saying to you. I think if IBM buys HashiCorp, they've shot themselves in the foot. My first thing would be don't buy them. It's $6 billion and it's going to be a wasted investment. My second statement would be if you insist on buying it, give it to Red Hat. Give it to Red Hat, open source it, and let Red Hat monetize it like Red Hat would monetize it. Shoot, I don't care. Put it under AGPL v2. But I would say probably Apache 2 would give the most goodwill. But and Red Hat doesn't have the same good name that it did 5 years ago, but it's better than that. And then your third, like if neither of those two work for you, you've just put yourself in a no-win situation. I don't think they should buy it. You just said open source and Red Hat in the same sentence. No, look, I'm talking about what IBM should do. IBM has certain tools, and they should try to start leveraging those tools. If I was in charge of IBM, I would be like, look, Red Hat's going to take a more open source stance. Because That's going to be our open source arm. IBM internal is going to take the non-open source stuff, and what we don't want to be open source is going to be in IBM internal. And whatever, and we'd make this clear divide, and we'd have these two divisions that did things. Because right now what they've done is they've hurt their IBM, or they've hurt their Red Hat brand while hurting, while not like making themselves more open source or anything. It's been dumb. It's been a tragedy for the industry, I think. But I was gonna say, Grey Hatter, I believe that they sell off a lot of stuff. They buy a lot of stuff too. They buy it, they bleed it, and then they sell it off. Oh no, IBM has sold off more things than you guys can even think of. Like, you know, I can, off the top of my head, come up with quite a few things. Their computer, their Lenovo. Lenovo was the ThinkPad. ThinkPad is what I was thinking of. ThinkPad, wasn't that IBM? The IBM ThinkPad? They sold that off. They sold off their consulting arm that did mainframe consulting. That was a couple years ago. Those are just like two off the top of my head. They basically buy these units, bleed them, and then things IBM has sold. No, I want to see the divestments, not the mergers and acquisitions. Spinoffs. There we go. Check this out. I told you that it was more than you could imagine, okay? They literally buy these things, they bleed them, and then they sell them. I'm trying to think of the ones I was remembering. Oh, I forgot about that. Managed infrastructure service. That's the one I was talking about. This was like the consulting on mainframes and stuff that they divested in. Oh, look at that. We got it working. We didn't get this part working. We didn't get this part working. Oh, it waited too long. Can we just rerun it? It just had to wait too long. I didn't realize that would time out like that. Oh, this sucks. Right? Did we not build a way to run this manually into it? Because that's really what we should probably do. Actually, we should be able to just click here. No. Actions, deploy manifest. No, but we should be able to just click a button and deploy this, right? Because that's what we want to do. And do it with the current SHA on the current branch. Let's do that. GitHub. I have to actually CD into this because if I don't, it .github is in the ignores. It's not, but it doesn't. My fuzzy find doesn't find it. My fuzzy find doesn't find it. Which is annoying. All right, so this should... we want to do a manual run. I don't remember what that is. Manual trigger. That's all I wanted. Come on. It's super simple. Workflow dispatch. That's what it is. All right. This is the fun tedium, right, guys? Right? This is the fun tedium we all love and enjoy. I think we have, like, the majority of stuff going. We just have to get this, This is just, like, deployment stuff. I don't know. Maybe I just suck at it. I always find this type of stuff to always be a little bit of, like... a little bit of trial and error. Well, because I don't know. Well, one, I didn't realize that action would time out on me like that. Because it didn't even take that long. Let's look at it, though. So this does a workflow run. So basically, it's going to wait on these. And then we actually had to do this. We had to use this workflow run wait, because what happened is that they will spin up one of these jobs for every single one of these. And what we wanted was to say, hey, I want all 3 of these to complete, and then I want this to run. And that's why it cancels 2 of them effectively. But the timeout was weird because, like, it canceled 2 of them and was waiting for the last one, and then it said it timed out. Now, maybe that's some configuration in this, this actions workflow run wait. I'm not sure. Oh, sweet goodness. Sweet goodness. I want to see this. Here we go. He has 30,000 milliseconds. All right. This be our problem. So if our container doesn't build in 30,000 milliseconds, we're in trouble. We'll fix that. We can update this. This is fine. Okay, cool. That's good. Why did you do that? Don't do that. There we go. I'm just going to accept this and then delete it because it was tabbed right. What was this? Let's see. In milliseconds. Let's go with Oh, I don't know. I can't do this late at night. 5 minutes. No, we're going to do 10 minutes. 10 minutes, 2 milliseconds. Wait, that should be really easy. Yeah. Okay. I was like, wait a second. After I said that, it's actually not too bad, but whatever. Okay. Lenovo ThinkPads are pretty good. Sorry, I was caught up in this. I didn't see that statement, but I used to think that I have a ThinkPad for my work. Maybe it's because I'm running Linux on it, but it has overheating issues. Huge overheating issues. And basically I have to undervolt it to not have overheating issues. And even then, if I decide to compile a little too much Go, it has overheating issues. I'm not looking forward in a week and a half streaming from it. No, I'm not. It's going to be brutal. It's going to heat the room up. Oh, what we need to do now is check this, right? Yeah. Will this work? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Did we just break prod altogether, though? No. I mean, that's still broken. Let's jump over to here. Let's actually force sync this. Uh-oh. 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 I broke something. This is a problem. Let's see. Let's see. Patch strategic merge is deprecated. Please use patch instead. Customize build null cloud dev overlay. Error accumulating resources. Base overlay dev must resolve to a file. So back base overlays dev failed. Uh-oh. I done broke something. No cloud deployments. Deployments because we like repeating ourselves. No cloud because we like to repeat ourselves again. Cloud. We'll start here. What file? What file? I'm looking for breadcrumbs here. You know what? I'm just going to grep this and see if... I hit shift. And see if... Here we go. And this is in the null cloud overlays dev customize. Okay. So 1, 2, we're going to base overlays dev custom. So this is going here. Accumulated resources from this. Deployments, null cloud base, overlay devs must resolve to a file. Recursed accumulation of path, base overlays dev, accumulate resources from dev null operator dev must resolve to an okay. So maybe it's this one that was failing. My bad. I searched for the wrong one. I think. This is the one that I added, so it would make sense that this was wrong. Did I not validate this? I thought I did. Let's see. We go 1, 2 back, null operator, dev, customize. Null operator, dev, customize. Wait. All right, back to null operator, dev, customize. This is correct. Maybe this is the one that's wrong. All right, so let's follow this one. Resource. Back one, base, default, default. Yeah, default. I don't usually put the slash on the end. I don't know. That seems. I don't know. Let's see what that says. I don't think this is the same error. I think we're waiting. Oh, it changed. May not add a resource with already registered ID. Oh, that is new. I don't know why I didn't get status there. Okay. Okay. Get pause. Okay, so I think I have an idea for this. And I think to fix it. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. And welcome. Welcome to the Null group. We all love Null here. That's why we write so much Rust. We love what Null has taught us. Okay, so I think I know what's going on here. If we look at this over here with a little bit of sanity, we have two operators here. And most of these operators here are actually just straight copies from what the operator framework gives us. So that's why it looks like this, is because this is what the operator's framework is going to spit out. Now, Customize doesn't want two of the same things. And I bet you, if we look at here and look at Customize, so this is going to apply CRDs, RBAC, and manage, but this should have like null operator, right? The name prefix. So maybe that's not what it is. I wish it would tell me the actual resource. Oh, is it the custom resource definition? This. Oh, okay. Can I make this larger, please? There we go. That's so much easier to read. You need some cube context? Probably. I was hoping that this would be easy to just... We can go run... I don't know that I have Customize on my local machine. I was going to say that we could just run Customize locally to build out the... let me check. I don't know. I do. So we can recreate this. Doesn't it come... But isn't that the one built in? Like that is K-K. So like if you do K apply -K, that's going to use Customize, right? But it doesn't mean that it gives you the command line, which actually can be a different version, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they package it together, but you wouldn't have to package it together. Maybe Arch does, but and the thing is, I don't want to actually apply it to the cluster. I just want it to build the manifest because it would give me the warnings. So let's do this. So the command would be customize build overlays dev. I think it's just this, right? Yeah. Must result, but I mean, this is going to give us the same issue. Recurs measuring of path. Null operator dev may not add resource that is already registered ID. So somewhere we're getting this twice. Let's actually vim this and see where I accidentally did this twice. So we have the container runner that uses the exact same name. That's the problem. Because it was generated via the same... I got it. Okay. We just don't need both. Right? Because they both use the same thing. This null application. And this should be the null application. Yeah. All right, I'm going to do something stupid. We'll see if it breaks. It will break something, but we'll figure it out. Let's see. This is in the CRD bases and patches. I think we're just going to delete all these files, but I need to look in there. Not what I meant. Can I just do J null cloud? Cool. And then we can do our customize command here. Where is our customize command? There we go. Cool. That fixes it. You went with Helm instead of customize? Cool. Okay, so this is a dry run. So effectively, Sergeant Pepper, all this is doing is building the final thing that gets applied. You could do what I just did, and you could like pipe this into like K apply -F, and actually apply it to your cluster. I'm not going to do that, but this was effectively a dry run. All right, so I have worked with both Helm and Customize, and I prefer Customize. If like Customize has its problems, don't get me wrong. I do prefer Customize over Helm. What I find I end up doing with Helm is I either have to change and make modifications to the Helm charts that somebody else maintains. And then we have a diverging fork. And so to avoid a diverging fork from Helm charts, what I do is I take their Helm chart and I apply customizations on top of it with Customize. And then I'm like, that hurts me. Because now I have both Helm and Customize. I actually think that I might prefer JSONNet above the others. I just haven't used it a ton. Over Customize, like doing it all in JSONNet. I think that's a valid option. I know that that's Grafana does that. That was 6 minutes ago, buddy. We have changed. Let's synchronize. Let's get synchronizing. That hurts my feelings. That hurts my feelings. Oh, this is still the same error. Did we not hit sync? One of my objects failed to apply. Reason: deployments.apps null operator controller manager is invalid. I knew we were gonna have problems with that. I knew that we were gonna have problems with that. Let's see. I thought I just got rid of the CRD deployment, but maybe I screwed with more than that. Not here. I did it on this one, right? I removed it from the container runner. So without this, it's failing. Why? Yeah, this shouldn't matter, right? Wait. The null operator controller manager is invalid. Okay, hold on. This is a brand new thing. The null operator never got, so this was fine. Okay, I was just on the null operator. Now, what is it saying? The null operator controller manager is invalid. It doesn't have an image? That seems weird. This seems like a weird thing. So let's check out the manager. One or more objects failed to apply. Reason: deployment.app. Null operator controller manager is invalid. I didn't actually. I don't have a null operator controller manager. Can I get you to expand this, good sir? Null operator controller manager. Apps v1 deployment null operator controller manager is invalid. Spec template, spec containers, image required. What is it telling me? What is it telling me? Why am I not seeing this? This is not what we're looking for. Because it's saying what? Spec template, spec containers, and this is command. So is this? And it has yeah, containers, image. It has an image. I heard you like a package manager, so I put a package manager in your configuration manager so you can package manage while you config manage. Yes, Helm. Sergeant Pepper, did you watch my Kubernetes video? Did you watch my Kubernetes video? There is a Easter egg I hid in it that I think you would like a lot if you didn't see it. I mean, I guess I kind of put it in there for you. Okay, so watch this. It's an honest Kubernetes ad. Do you want me to show you the Easter egg? Nobody else saw it, so I doubt you will. Let's bump that quality up to 4K. Do you see do you see Helm's logo? They're so mad. They're so mad, but I had to put that in there. Oh, I couldn't help myself. It just works so well in there. And there was no offense. I think that there's a lot of smart people on the Helm project. That was just a lot of fun. Cat Muffin, you like the stream title? I'm glad. I'm not doing much productive right now. I'm just in YAML. I'm just YAMLing it up right now. What are you up to? Oh. This is the deployment for the controller manager. Right, Cat Muffin. I am just really recovering from AI at this point. Really creepy. Yeah, middle schooler AI. Gonna have nightmares tonight. You know, okay, actually, most annoying part was that high frequency that they had. Not sure. All right. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. Let's see. CD, base, null operator. Customize, dev, go. I meant build. I'm sorry. I meant build. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's getting an image built in, right? In the deployment. Like, there's not a whole lot to this. Let's do this. Let's grep deployment. Yeah, there's only one deployment, and it has an image. What am I'm missing something stupid here. I mean, you know what? When that AI rated me as mid at Kubernetes, it just wasn't wrong. It wasn't wrong. It knew better than us. What was that AI? What is it called? Not Midjourney. Oh, I forgot its name already. .ai. Oh, come on, stupid history. Okay, I don't want to go to my email. One second, I'm going to go to my email. One second. Micro one. That's what it is. But Micro one, it knew. Mid. I'm Kubernetes mid. I'm a Kubernetes mid. That's right. I just proved it tonight. Cat Muffin. Good call. Let's do it. New folder. How to run Eddington locally. We'll produce docs as well as a video. Oh, I 100% think I can gamify those results. Okay, if it didn't take an hour to do the interview, I kind of would like to try a couple to like try and gamify it. Okay. Should document steps in GitHub null channel Eddington in Markdown. Then should create short Video going through all steps locally for youtube.com/@the null bytes. Okay. The short and quick answer is it's easy and it's difficult. So technically all you need to do to get it to work locally on Linux, I only support Linux, all I know, is hack start dev. And then when that's done, in the same place, do tilt up. And you're done. But you're not quite done. You're close to done. Because I haven't gotten tilt to deploy the stuff to configure Kpack. So Kpack you still have to do by hand, but what I'm going to plan on doing is while documenting this, we'll document the Kpack stuff as well. And then we'll make a video. It'd be cool if other people wanted to get it. I think, you know, honestly speaking, Eddington's going to change a lot in the next like 6 months as we do stuff. So it might be hard for somebody that's not working on it a couple times a week to actually be involved, because we're going to try some stuff and some things are going to fail. But I would love it if other people tried some stuff and it failed, or, you know, it worked. And that's like a really awesome way of doing stuff. So I'm 100% open to people joining. It's probably a rough project to join right now, but you're more than welcome to. Oh, okay. So I used tilt and CTL, PTL because it makes everything easy locally. If you don't use those, then it becomes much more of a thing. Because what tilt up is going to do, let's see. What our start dev is going to do is basically it's going to host. It's going to create kind. So this is going to start kind, and it's configuring it with a local Docker repository. And so this is how it builds images locally, and it configures this kind cluster to be able to pull images from that locally hosted Docker registry. So it handles all of that, which is really nice because you don't have to push the images to some repository in the cloud or somewhere else for dev testing. It can all maintain locally, but you're right. I tried to make it as easy as possible, but there's a lot of tools involved to do that. I really hate that I have Kubernetes. So the other one that we're going to do right here is the architecture, which we're talking about and I'm making a video on this. This is the proof of concept architecture, which has Kubernetes in it. The end goal architecture, the one I haven't worked on yet, but the end goal architecture doesn't have Kubernetes. And I think that it should be easier to do locally. But I mean, it replaces this chunk ng visor with a project called Legion, which doesn't exist yet. It does exist, but it doesn't work well yet. I get it, Cat Muffin. I get it, and I would never pressure you to install tools that you didn't understand or want to install. So let me add that to this. How to run Eddington locally. Talk about tilt and CTL, PTL. So I will do this as a talk. Absolutely. Especially if people would like them, then I can make them YouTube videos on my Null Bytes. And hopefully people like that. That way, if you don't catch it, it will still be there in history as just a 5-10 minute video. I've wanted to do one on Tilt anyways. Tilt is a really cool and interesting tool. Yeah, Tilt is a pretty cool tool. And so I wanted to make a video on that. So I might do that as a tool. Oh, I actually already have it under tools. Check that out. Tilt. I was going to say. I know that I've thought this before, so we'll make a video on that as well. Cool. All right, I'm mid-level. I have no idea what I'm doing. Null operator controller manager. Is that this deployment? Yeah, that's this deployment. And it's saying that the spec template spec container images, the spec template spec containers image. Wait. Do we have multiple containers here? Ooh. Check this out. Something's getting mangled. I think I found it. I just needed to take a break. I think I found it. Let's do... I want to see what this one looks like. Containers. So the cube RBAC proxy. Yeah. Check this out. Okay. I think I found it. What the garbage? All right, we have... I finally, it at least makes sense to my mid-mind. Now we just have to dumpster dive for why that's happening. All right, so this is just doing the base default. All right. Default. And it's going to go here for the manager, right? This is where the manager is. I'm assuming I accidentally screwed this up. Let's see. So we only have one container defined here. And in default, we do this. All right, so these are the resources, null operator, Dutch, I believe you're making fun of me. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. This is what's getting screwed up right here. This is trying to merge, and it is failing utterly. All right, let's see. Name manager, command manager, name null operator. This is the problem. It's not called, I think, this could get me in trouble, but I think if we go over here and do this, we're golden. Let's test it out. Check it out. Yes. Yes. What? No. I don't know. Why is it not quoting properly? Oh, it's a title. Well, that one's just on me. That one's just on me. My bad. My bad. All right, Dutch. That's not true. Most of them had. Check this out. Remove all extra null application CRD definition. Remove trailing slashes. Update image tag 2. I guess I just barfed on that one. Also, if you don't have a working thing, it's very difficult to add a good thing. This is effectively a commit adding the null operator. So I get into this where, like, I generally commit whatever I did on a stream at the end of the stream, but that could be halfway in between something. But it's still a commit message. Well, this is committing directly to master, but in general, yes. Yes. I generally agree. This actually has to go to that for this to check in on it. I don't think that for this to get it, it has to go to the main branch. Unfortunately. But again, this is just me testing a big or a build. Like, this is not a production thing. Please see patches instead. Wait, what? I fixed this. I fixed this. Oh my gosh. I literally we just fixed this right here. Right? Thank you for copying that to the clipboard. That's what I wanted. Honestly, I'm a little flummoxed. Right? Because this exists here, but in the container runner, we remove the thing that applies this, right? Or maybe we didn't. I accidentally undid it, didn't I? It's the CRD, right? I was messing around and I undid it, didn't I? Gosh, dang it. Gosh, dang it. I forget why I did that. I forget. Nest for Q. How did you get started in open source? I'm a beginner and only had data structure and algorithm knowledge right now. That's a good question. By getting involved, mostly. There's a lot of different ways to get involved. You know what? Look at that. Look at that. You know what a lot of open source projects need? Documentation. Go write yourself some documentation. I have pull requests accepted into many of things in documentation because I make pull requests for documentation. There's people in Kubeflow. I don't know the Kubeflow project, but I have helped with their documentation. So if you're really wanting to get into a community, go help them with their documentation. They'll love it. Go try to run it locally, and where it fails and doesn't work, write up a way that you figured out how to get it to work, because it's probably not broken, just needs to update the documentation, the steps. It's a great way to get involved. Wait. No. This is lagging, right? This is lagging. I refuse to believe that is not just lagging. Right, because our sync was 2 minutes ago, and the error is 5 minutes ago before our sync. So this is wrong. How do I refresh this? Can I just refresh? There, yeah, there we go. There we go. All right. How much you guys want to bet that something else is broken still? And the documentation, like, I don't mean this like, I didn't mean it as like, oh, whatever. It's a great way to get involved in the project, because one of the worst things that you could do as a new person to an open source project is to be an extra burden when you have no cred with them. So all of those people are super busy. They're doing their thing. And if you come along and say, hey, I need more of your time and I might just flake out on you, that's not super helpful. What really shows is like, hey, I submitted these simple things to documentation. I helped with them. You know, I wrote this paragraph here explaining how to deal with this thing that wasn't explained in the documentation, or things like that. Now, obviously, you can get started with their code as well. Really, you know, I didn't go to the universities for software engineering. Now it kind of showed today. But yeah, just be involved, and it just takes time and effort. It takes a lot of effort. There's no magic bullet to get into a community. All right, 400 bad request. Date of birth must be greater than 16. Let's go. That's some validation. 1993, July. What's a good day? 31st. Let's go. Oh, did that work? Wait. Request failed with 400. No, that was our last one. Did it work? It worked. It's supposed to take us to another page. It's supposed to take us to another page. Oh, it's supposed to take us to the dashboard, but there's some other issues. But I think it's working. Let's actually validate that everything's working. Let's go see those log messages, because I won't believe it until I see it. Let's see. Did we redeploy? Did we? I don't know. Well, I guess we did. All right. Oh. I'm celebrating this as a win. We did something. Dutch. See, you are making fun of me, not yourself. Here we come, actually. I wouldn't have the hubris to assume that this change was actually going to fix it. I don't know why the dashboard's not working. It works locally. It works locally. This is a complete dumpster fire. Explain console errors by using Copilot in Edge. Click the Edge thing to explain an error. What? You're not doing it. All right, that didn't work nearly as well as I thought. It might. Okay, but this is fine. This is fine. I'm happy. We got something done today. We can log in. You can give me your name. Check that out. We actually store it. You can sign up. Can you log out? You can log out. What's next? An actual functioning dashboard? All right. Sorry, guys. I had a rough interview today. I would tell you about it. What do you use for your database? Ooh, for this? For this project right here? Or do you mean in general? Now, Nest for KU. I also understand probably how you want it pronounced. I don't know. I don't know if that's... Anyways, we're going to do null cloud architecture. So that's already on the docket. So part 4 architecture. We're going to go through the null cloud architecture, what the proof of concept is going to look like, what the end goal is going to look like, and all of this here is committed to GitHub. So these are just markdown files, so you can go check them out. But we're going to make videos on those topics specifically. Including on how to run Eddington locally. So yeah, those are coming. But what was I going to say? Oh, if you're interested in databases, not this Friday, but a week from Friday, I have maybe what I'm calling the ultimate database stream. I'm actually getting some very intelligent people to talk about databases specifically. So that should be a lot of fun in like a week and a half. We're going to be streaming for 12 hours. And at the end, if I have any brain cells left, we're actually going to make a database RAG LLM thing for documentation. So basically, we're going to take the Aerospike documentation. We're going to train an LLM on it. We're going to use that documentation as a RAG and retrieval augmentation so that your LLM doesn't hallucinate. And store this in a vector database. That's how it pertains to databases. We're going to use the vector database for that. So anyways, it should be a fun ending to a really, really long day. The day is going to be extremely long. I will start at 9 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, and I will go till like 9:30 p.m. Pacific time. So it's going to be a very long day, but we're going to talk consensus. We're going to talk database indexes, and I don't mean just with me, little old me. I'm talking about super pros, people leading the industry. So, anyways. Very excited. I'm very excited about that. Nesaku. Oh, okay. I was going with fork you. I thought that, yeah, I thought, you know, like most internet people, you were trying to be rude. Although I guess fork you, maybe isn't as rude as I thought it was. Fork you. I don't even know what I was thinking. It's late. That's what I was thinking. I was not thinking on that one. All right. Let's see. I don't want to do anything more on this project. This is good. I'm going to start... We're going to start looking at, we're actually getting close to our follower count. We're almost halfway there for our follower count. So we're going to start probably working on, the we need to work on our Twitch alerts. A distinguished engineer at NVIDIA? Does NVIDIA create a database? That's interesting. Okay. I was like, you never know. You never know. I got junior SQL, so I'm a junior SQL person. So, who am I to say anything about SQL? I'm just a junior. I love that now that I have that. Oh, I hate at SUSE, we had distinguished engineers. I hated the title too. I still don't know what it means entirely, but I am not a distinguished engineer. I don't hold my pinky up when I drink. See? Look at that. Pinky is clamped down, nice and firm. Not distinguished at all. It means you're a poet. Okay. I might just quit for today. I feel like playing a game for an hour before I go to bed. Star Fox 3333. I added an extra 3 just for dramaticism. Did I add an extra 3? I think I did. Nasaku. Thank you guys for the follow. There's your personalized, customized message by our very own LLM. Actually, that's one of the things that I'd like to do in the coming weeks. I'd like to run Llama. I want to try to run it on the Null Cloud. I might have to buy more hardware to actually run Llama, but I'd kind of like to run Llama on the Null Cloud and provide it as a service. Thanks guys for joining. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go play a video game. I'm probably gonna play Baldur's Gate. I got it all working on Arch here, which is pretty cool. I got Steam running on Arch, so I can play Baldur's Gate here, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, so I'll find somebody to raid, and you guys can continue watching software engineering while I let my mind drift off into not thinking. Let's see. Let's find somebody. What are you guys up to seeing some more of? All right, have you guys seen the Cherno? He does some really great C++ educational content. You guys should go check out his stream. So I'm gonna raid him. And you guys have fun. Have a fantastic night. I will see you guys on Thursday sometime. And I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Yeah, he does game engine stuff. Pretty cool dude. At least from the YouTube videos I've watched of him. So yeah.
Yeah. Apparently we didn't fix it. Merit Counts, what's up? Thanks for the raid. So this might just be weird, or like more so. I don't think it's necessarily weird. I mean, this is weird. Like I